Okay, so I'm going to talk about the verb gustar and other verbs like gustar. If I rate this sentence, I like pizza. Okay, a lot of times people think that gustar should be, it's translated to mean to like, which it is, but it doesn't literally mean that, because if that was the case, knowing what we know, go over here. Oops. Okay, gustar is actually, hold on. Okay, so if here's my spelling of gustar, I had to just go quickly and make like a little chart. We've got gusto, gustas, gusta, gustamos, gustáis, and gustan. So if I was going to conjugate this sentence out following what we knew from before, I is yo, and I should write gusto, and then pizza. But if you've ever seen this sentence written out before, you know it's not written like that. This is wrong. You actually write pizza as me gusta pizza. So what pizza, what gustar really means is to be, pleasing. So gustar means to be pleasing, which would make more sense because what's pleasing in this sentence is actually pizza. Pizza pleases me. And so if pizza is the subject, you're thinking of it as a she, and so that's why it's gusta. Okay? So gustar literally means to be pleasing, and the verb is used with an indirect object pronoun. So you're going to have me, te, le. Actually, let me go. Okay, and so you would use an indirect object. So it says gustar literally means to be pleasing, and the verb is used with an indirect object pronoun. So you're going to have me, te, le, nos, os, les with your gustar. The subject of the verb, gustar, is whatever is pleasing to someone. So for example, what's pleasing here is the pizza. Or here, nos gusta la torta de chocolate. Torta de chocolate is what's pleasing. That's how you conjugate. No me gustan los frijoles. What's not pleasing are los frijoles. And so that's how you figure out how to conjugate the verb. Most of the time when we're using gustar, though, you're only going to conjugate it in third person because it's usually things that are pleasing to you. So you're going to use gusta and gustan most of the time, and you're basically just going to be deciding between singular plural. So gusta for things that are singular, gustan for things that please you that are plural, and then your indirect object pronoun. There's some other verbs that are like gustar: aburrir, apetecer, encantar, fascinar, interesar, molestar, parecer, quedar. All of these verbs, you're only going to use their third person. You're most of the time going to use their third person form. So for aburrir, you're going to mostly use aburre, aburren. For apetecer, you're going to use apetece, apetecen. Encantar, you're going to mostly use encantan, encantan. Fascinar, fascina, fascinan. Interesar, interesa, interesan. Molestar, molesta, molestan. Parecer, parece, parecen. And quedar, queda, quedan. Okay. Okay. So let's look at some practice with these. Okay. So here's our verbs down here: aburrir, apetecer, encantar, etc. They're down here at the bottom. Okay, so at the bottom I've got my verbs, and then I've got my indirect object pronouns. So it says, Gilberto, a mí blank encantar esta camiseta, qué bonita es. So what we want to do is we want to figure out what it is that is pleasing, because encantar means to like very much or to be extremely pleasing. So what's pleasing to Gilberto, and número uno, it's a camiseta. So we're using the verb encantar. So the choice is, if the thing that's pleasing is singular, you're going to use the singular spelling of encanta. If it's something plural, you're going to use the plural spelling. So for example, your choices are going to be encanta or encantan. Well, given that it's just the camiseta, not camisetas, we're going to choose encanta, not encantan. Then we need to use our indirect object to tell to whom it's pleasing. Well, who Gilberto says, a mí encanta esta camiseta. So who is this camiseta pleasing to? He's saying to me, it's pleasing to me. So we're going to pick me, because me matches with a mí. So it would be, a mí me encanta esta camiseta, qué bonita es. And número 2, it says, a ti gustar estos zapatos. So we're using gustar this time. We've got zapatos, and we want to know what's pleasing. What's pleasing to you? The shoes. So our choices for gustar are gusta and gustan. Well, this time what's pleasing are shoes, unlike camiseta, which is just one thing. Shoes are plural, so we're going to pick gustan instead of gusta. And then to whom are these shoes pleasing? Well, they're pleasing to you, a ti, so we would use te. A ti te gustan estos zapatos. And then Gilberto says, no mucho, pero creo que a mi papá, blank, bueno, encantar los zapatos de esta tienda. So we've got encanta and encantan. This time again we're talking about shoes, so we're going to use the plural form encantan. This time, to whom are they pleasing? They're pleasing to Gilberto's papá, or him, so we would use le. Pero creo que a mi papá, to him, le encantan los zapatos. A mí parece, and he says, los vamos a comprar, so let's buy them for him. And Isabel says, a mí parecer una buena idea. Parecer means seem, so we want to put parecer, or parece, or parecen. What seems to Isabel, it's what seems good to Isabel, the idea, it's singular, so we would use parece. To whom is it, to whom does it seem good? That's to me, so we would put me. Me parece una buena idea. A mis hermanas fascinar las blusas de seda. So we've got fascinar or fascinate, fascina or fascinan. So what would fascinate her sisters? They would be blusas. Blusas is plural, so we'd pick fascinan. To whom do they fascinate? They fascinate her sisters or them, which would be les. Okay, be careful. Some of these have possessive adjectives like me. Me is an adjective. It's not an indirect object pronoun. It just describes your indirect object pronoun. So when she says she's saying my sisters. That's what the me says, my sisters. But it's the sisters who are fascinated by these silk blouses, not her. She's not saying I'm fascinated. She's saying my sisters, they are fascinated. A tu hermana Marta encanta el color verde. So he wants to know if her sister Marta loves the color green. So we've got encanta and encantan. Well, what is loved by Marta is the color green. It's singular. It's not the colors green and red. It's just the color green. So we would keep the singular. And to whom is the color green very pleasing? Marta or her. It's very pleasing to her, which would be le. Le encanta el color verde. Sí, es su color favorito. So Isabel says it's her favorite color. And Gilberto says, qué coincidencia. A mis hermanas también blank este color. We've got gusta or gustan. What's pleasing to Gilberto's sisters? The color, singular, gusta. And to whom is it pleasing? His sisters, which would be that it would be pleasing to them, which would be les. Les gusta. Bueno, ahora tengo que buscar algo para mis padres. So Isabel's got to look for something for her parents. A ellos interesa I think I took out something that was supposed to go here. Maybe a ellos back in. Okay, a ellos interesan los suéteres de lana, no. So, a ellos, we've got interesan, okay. If we're talking about suéteres, then we would want to use the plural. Wait a minute, let me go back. Okay, so we would have interesan. Okay, so if we're talking about suéteres, we would want to use the plural, and to whom is it pleasing? A ellos, to them would be les. Les interesan los suéteres de lana. No, claro, también quiero comprar estos aretes. I also want to buy these earrings. A mí gustar mucho. So gustar would be gusta or gustan. What's pleasing to Isabel a lot, or very pleasing to Isabel, are the earrings. That's plural, so it would be gustan. And to whom are they pleasing? It says a mí, which would make it me gustan mucho. Mira, Isabel. Look, Isabel, ahora nosotros no blank mucho dinero. Quedar is to be left over, to remain. So he's saying like not a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money. So it would be quedan. We're talking about dinero. Dinero is singular. And to whom does that, who doesn't have a lot of money left, or to whom is not a lot of that money remaining? It's a nosotros. So we would put nos. No nos queda mucho dinero.